Hi everyone. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. Having a bit of a tech issue. How are you all? Let me change my mic. Okay, I hope you can all hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up if you can. Hi Patricia, how are you? Good to see you. Oh, bless you. Bless you. Hello, hi Streaming Vault Pro. Nice to see a fellow streamer on here. I'm echoing, am I? Interesting. Am I still echoing? Let me know if I'm still echoing. I'm okay? Sound good? Yeah? Is the sound okay now? No echo. It might be that if you're listening on two different devices, sometimes that can happen. Okay, great. Well, it's good to see you guys here. I've had to take a little break from YouTube, but I will be back. I have videos in the lab, and I think you're going to love them. So while those are being worked on by my editor, I wanted to come live and talk to you guys about creating and selling digital products with AI. I think there is just so much overwhelming information on YouTube right now on how to use AI and how to monetize from AI, but there is honestly no simpler way that I'm aware of, that I've tried, that I've tested, than to use AI to help you start your digital product business. You can also use it for faceless marketing, affiliate marketing, all of that stuff, but none of those give you your actual own business model. You're always relying on other people's products or other people's content. And so the great thing about digital products is you can create your very own products. It's original to you, it's your business, it's something that you will always own, and isn't reliant on any other content or any other platform. So it's really the simplest way to do it right now. And I want to just break down the steps on exactly how you can use AI to fast track the whole process of creating and selling digital products. So that's what we're going to go through today. I'm going to show you the prompts and change the way that the comments appear on the screen. And we can actually do a live example. So if somebody's got any ideas or interests, skills, or experiences, and they just want to drop it in the chat, I can use you as a live example and show you how the prompts will guide you into choosing your digital product idea, creating your outline, building a marketing strategy for you. So I can do a live example if somebody's got, like I say, all we need to start, and all the only information you really need to start is to have a list of your experience, your skills, and your interests. That's all you need. And you don't even need all of them. You just need the ones that you're either most in depth at, the ones that you've overcome some sort of struggle, and the ones that you really think that you can help other people with. Okay, so if we've got any live examples, I can do that now. Otherwise, I can just choose a niche. Hi, it's good to see you. Hi, Shannon. Okay, so has anybody got an area that they're skilled in or they've had experience in? This could be through your own 9 to 5 jobs, corporate careers, or any careers, doesn't have to be corporate. It could be through your own life experience. It could be through education or school. So let me know. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's the topic of today's live. But in order to sell a digital product, you do need to niche down. You need to have a certain topic or audience that you are focused on. I want to tell stories to sell online. Okay, Patricia, what kind of stories? So you saying that you have a background in storytelling. Are you like a writer? Are you a journalist? Just give me a little bit more insight on your background, and we can do that as a live example. And I'm going to show you the exact prompts you can use. You can follow along with this with your own niche or your own skills. And it's really what ChatGPT will do with the prompts that we have is it will tell you what the most profitable ideas are based on your background. So let's say you have a background in project management. Let's say you have skills in acting. Like I'm picking random things, dancing. You might be a dance teacher. It can be anything. Um, there's pretty much no ceiling on what type of digital product that you can create. But what these prompts will do will help you to identify the most profitable ones. Because the thing is, it's not just about creating a digital product about something we're interested in. We need to make sure that it's a topic that is already profitable, already has demand, and actually has the opportunity for us to make an income from there. Hi, Anne. Hope you're well. Okay, so you've got experience with subconscious mind and sales. Okay. I'm good at walking people through a process. Okay, you simplify processes. That's a really good skill. And it's something that you could apply to any niche. Okay. So that is actually a really good one. You finally caught you live. I haven't been live in a little while, so it's really good to catch you. Okay, so maybe we'll just use, I know you were here first, Patricia. Let's use your one in terms of you've got a background in storytelling, sales, and understanding the unconscious mind. So let's go through the process. Like I say, everyone can follow this. They can just substitute where I'm putting Patricia's skills in with their own experience or background. And I know some of you might be thinking, oh, I don't have skills in anything. I'm not quite sure I have anything worth sharing. And that just simply isn't true. Like, we don't get to the age we're at now without going through things, without having been through experiences. And so you might just need to spend a few minutes thinking about the experiences that you've been through in life. Like I say, you'll be surprised how many of them can be monetized. So I'm trying something new with how I'm doing content. I'm using more AI to save time because that is what AI is. That is the beauty of AI, really. So I've created this kind of interactive web page here in ChatGPT. I do usually use Gamma, but I just thought, let me just see what ChatGPT has. So you can see I've got this edit with ChatGPT thing here. So that's not great, but like otherwise, I really like the way that it's presented the content, right? So we've got 5 prompts that we're going to follow today, which is going to take us through the entire process of put like building your digital product journey. We're going to go through it obviously at a very high level. And if you want more support, if you want my full training, if you want my feedback, if you want my monthly coaching, then you can jump inside DMM, which is my digital money moves community, where I literally teach you the end-to-end process. Okay. But for today, let's go with this. So this is the first prompt that you would use, and I'm going to share this um, I'm going to share this document with my email list tomorrow. So if you want to jump on that, all you have to do is just comment and I will send it to you. So based on my background in insert skills, experience, and passion, give me 10 profitable digital product ideas that solve hyper specific problems. Okay. Now, this is where people go wrong when they just go into ChatGPT and they just say, oh, give me 10 digital product ideas. And so that isn't enough. What we need is to be very, very specific. And the more specific you can be with your digital product, the better. And trust me, I know it feels quite counterintuitive because you want to go broad and you want to capture as many people as possible. The thing is, when we go broad, we might reach more people, but we don't resonate with them. We don't connect with them, right? Because what they really care about is something specific. That's what they're going to buy based on. And so if we can already skip that whole part of just reaching large audiences that aren't really going to buy, then we can get to the actual audiences that we can help. And then our products are actually going to be a no-brainer for them because they're specifically what they're after. Okay. So that's really important. And then the second bit is that people would pay to fix. Now, a lot of people fail to consider that they might be creating digital products that people can just find online. People can just find the information, especially with AI nowadays. So on one hand, AI has made things a lot easier, but it's also forcing us to be more creative. There is no point just creating a free guide with something that people can easily find on ChatGPT. So we need to make sure we're really infusing our own stories and our own journeys. And that's why it's so important that your idea aligns with the actual skills and experience that you have. Okay. This is why digital marketing courses and all of these things don't work unless you've already got your own experience in it, because you can't tell any stories and you can't actually personally help people based on your experience. Okay. So in terms of like what we want from this prompt, we want the type of product, we want the specific problem that it solves, and we want to know who it would help. So these are going to be really key in the next thing. So we're just going to copy the prompt. We're going to go into ChatGPT. I'm going to temporary chat, not that. Let's copy it this way. And so here's our prompt. And so all you would do if you're following along is you would just insert your own area here. So for Patricia, we are going for subconscious mind and sales background. So in sales, I think you said also storytelling. You can put a few things in here because chat will find the best ideas based on your background and knowledge of and don't mind my spelling. I'm actually incredibly dyslexic. Okay. So this would be our first prompt. The last thing I forgot to say is like having the response in a table format is really, really helpful. So let's see how this looks and we can see why together. Let me just take a few. Oh, you can't see my chat. Hold on. Let me just reshare so that you can see my whole window. 1 minute. Let me just reshare this. Yeah, I always do that. Always forget to share the whole window. Okay, so you can see my ChatGPT here. Let me just answer a few of these questions. Um, how to sell something online without being salesy. So in terms of without being salesy, it's really leading with value. That's the approach that I always take. I will share my value. I will tell you that if you want my support on implementing it, you can buy my products. But I think establishing that trust is key to being able to sell to people without having to force it too much. And I teach that a lot inside DMM. I'm currently about to drop a soft sales toolkit where it's like, here is how you can pitch your offer. Pretty often, I actually pitch my offer every single day, pretty much, whether it's in my emails or my content when it's going out. I do sell. People don't really see it because it's really soft and I'm leading with the value first. So that would be my best piece of advice. Lead with lead with the value, help people in as much way as you can. Focus on telling people about the what and your story, and leave the how and the implementation to your paid digital products. That would be my recommendation. Good day. Hello, darling. Validating without an audience. The best way to do this is through Perplexity. Don't use ChatGPT because it doesn't have the most up-to-date search as much as I love it. So you can use Perplexity to find things like search volume. You can use their deep research to find what people are saying about certain niches online. You can use something called Answer the Public, which shows you all of the different search terms that people are actually typing in Google and the questions they are asking about it. You can go onto platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Reddit is one of my favorites, depending on the niche, and go and find if people are actually talking about the solutions that you want to offer. Are people asking questions about it? Are people telling other people that they're struggling with it? Facebook groups is another one. So there is a whole host of ways to do this without an audience. But hands down, the most powerful one is just to get yourself inside a group, whether it's Facebook, whether it's school, whether it's a forum, and find your target audience and ask them. Ask them. That's the best way. Okay, you don't need an audience for it at all. Obviously, it's easier. You can just send an email if you've got an audience, but it's very possible to do it without. Okay, so here is what ChatGPT has come back to us with based on Patricia's niche. So it's given us product types and it's given us the problem that it solves, which is really, really important, and then who your audience are. So we've got things like coaches and service providers. And when you're looking at your audience, you really want to think about what is their potential or what is their disposable income, right? Because personally, I would never create a digital product that goes after students. They haven't got disposable income. Think about whether your audience actually have the disposable income to be able to buy your product. That's really important. So coaches, any type of business owners are great. Etsy sellers, yes, new entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, service-based entrepreneurs, digital product creators. So all of these are strong audiences, right? These are all audiences that are going to be able to invest in a solution, given that it resolves the problem. Okay, and this is going to tee us up nicely for when we start getting into creating the products. We need to know exactly what problem we're solving. Not only does this make sure the product is actually useful, but it means we can actually sell it based on the audience needing that solution. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got a magnetic messaging blueprint. This is a step-by-step video course. This could just be a mini course, by the way. Could be 4 to 5 lessons that you put together in something as simple as Loom or even YouTube, unlisted links. A play-by-play script pack, story selling script. So someone just mentioned on the live that they don't know how to sell without being salesy. So that's a clear problem. Subconscious sales guide. Yeah, I mean, I think with the subconscious sales thing, you'd have to be really specific. Um, you'd have to find an audience that are really looking into the psychology, which is I would say a smaller cross section of the entrepreneur audience. S- And I think much more developed. You have to be quite a developed entrepreneur to really appreciate the importance of that. Confidence reframe journal, not bad. I'm not really a fan of journals anymore, not on their own. Maybe as part of a bundle, but I think that time is gone. People just do this stuff online now, or through AI. Swipe file and workbook. Again, I think like if you bundled these products together, they would be good, but on their own, are they really valuable enough? That's what you need to ask yourself. Um, so we've got digital workbook and prompts, email and DM templates. That's quite good. And a live recorded workshop. So out of these ideas, knowing the types of digital products that sell the most, which are courses or masterclasses, I prefer masterclasses out of the two, um, memberships and bundles. These are the 3 types of digital products that sell the most. I've actually recorded a video on this. It will be dropping soon. So based on that, I would say your live or recorded masterclass workshop would be great, as well as your step-by-step video course. Those would be the 2 highest options. Don't worry, we've just on our first prompt, we've just put in a prompt to ChatGPT to give us digital product ideas based on a live example from the chat, but you can replace this with your own background, okay? So you literally use this exact same prompt, but you would replace it with your own skills or background. Okay, any questions on that first point in terms of getting your list of digital product ideas? I'm going to show you exactly how to whittle it down to your winning ones. What's the best way to reach you so we can solve this? I currently don't have access to the community. You don't have access. That's really strange, my love. I'm really sorry to hear that. You should do. It's all through school. Send me an email right after this and we'll make sure that you're sorted. Okay. All right. So, in terms of what we would do next, once we've got our list, part of this is your own gut instinct. So you need to go through this and you need to think, which one of these actually aligns with me? Which one do I feel that I have the most knowledge, that I have stories that I could help people with? And also, you would overlay it with the types of digital products. So if you wasn't here when I mentioned ebooks, journals, or ebooks are okay if you do them well. Ebooks still sell if you do them well, but journals on their own, not enough anymore. Just fillable PDFs, not enough anymore. Workbooks on their own, not enough. So what you need is, if you're going for those smaller products, you need to bundle them together into like one system with multiple products. Okay. So that's what I would recommend. So let's now look at what we would do next. So these are the checkpoints. So I should have mentioned that. So these are checkpoints. This is what you're looking for. Do the problems feel urgent enough that people actually pay for them? Is the audience really clear? So remember, we went through the audience. Do you connect with that audience? Is it an audience that you can create content for, that you can talk to? Is it an audience that you feel comfortable connecting with? And is it an audience? Um, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. What, Denise? And is it an audience that actually has the ability to invest in your digital product? So if you want to, and I don't recommend this, but let's say you wanted to do a really high ticket course, anything above $1,000, that is what you want to do. You wouldn't be targeting an audience that can't afford that. You wouldn't be targeting part-time workers, for example. They can't afford it, right? So you need to think about, does your audience have the capacity to invest in your product? And then you need to validate your top 3 ideas. We talked about that a little bit, and I do a whole training on this inside my community DMM. But validating is doing your own research. So going into AIs like Perplexity, which have the most up-to-date search data, going off and looking in Facebook groups, Reddit. I mean, actually, ChatGPT deep research is getting very good at this as well. So you could just go into ChatGPT. I haven't put this on the prompts, but this is something that I really recommend you do your own research as well. And you can add in, oh, it's got web search. I think it's because I'm on temporary chat. I can't do deep research, but there's usually an option here for deep research. Let me just see if I go onto a new chat. Yeah, deep research is there, and it does limit you, but you don't need more than 23, because they're really detailed. Okay, are we good with that? Oh, have I lost my chat? I just went onto a temporary chat and I don't know where I've put it. Mm, hold on 1 minute. Let me just get this chat back. I think I might have lost my chat. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. In the meantime, I'll ask questions. Jessica, hello. Let me know what the let me know what this relates to. Have I missed a comment? If I have, just drop it back in the chat. I'm scrolling up though, I don't see any. Okay. Where's my chat gone? Okay. It's got rid of my chat, which is annoying. Let's redo that first prompt real quick. I'm just doing it off screen so it's quicker. I think because I put it on temporary. So we will not put it on temporary. It was sales. What's the other one? Storytelling. Oh, I put it on temp chat just so that it doesn't remember it in my memories, because I do so many demos for so many different clients. Chat gets very confused. It's like, what's your niche? Because you're doing all these different demos. So that's why I always put it on temporary chat. But I don't know why it's not subconscious. What was the other one? Sales, storytelling. I've lost you, Patricia. What was it? Oh, subconscious mind. Okay, let me reshare. Okay, cool. So let's move on to the next step. Let's move on to the next step. Otherwise we're going to be here for a little while. So that's what we're checking. We've got our ideas, we've checked all these things off. Ideally you would literally narrow it down to 2 to 3 ideas. I think this one, oh, it's changed it. It's now saying plug and play script with Notion template, audio bundle. Oh, it's completely different. That's interesting. Don't recommend audio, guys. Don't recommend audio. Don't recommend a digital flashcard deck. Think about the things that are actually valuable enough that someone would buy for. If if you wouldn't buy a digital flashcard deck, I don't know about you, I certainly wouldn't, then don't create it. Okay. So stick with courses, mini courses, not long courses, mini courses, stick with bundles and stick with masterclasses. So based on what we've got here, we're going to go with this one, the storytelling for sales framework. And we're going to be targeting solopreneurs. This is a big one. This is a real big one. So let's move on to the next stage, which is how to build your digital product. Okay. So there's a few stages in between this, by the way. There's validation, there's building out your hero product idea. But just from a top line perspective, these are the key things. Okay. So taking the chosen idea. So my chosen idea is, and then you would just literally put in the information. Okay. And then you would look, the next bit that you're really looking for is an outline. Okay. Now, this is really key because if you just start creating, you don't know what's going to go in it. Not only will you not have structure for your digital product, but it'll be very hard to get ChatGPT to guide you through the process if it doesn't understand the outline of the product. Okay. So that's what we're going to create next. So we're going to ask it to outline exactly what should go into this digital product to make it valuable. I've said assume I'm creating it in Canva or Google Docs. We just need to update this based on the type of digital product that you're creating, right? So you're creating a mini course. We're using mini course. So this one would actually be something like Loom. Loom's a great one. Um, you could also create it in something like I love Ecamm. It's a video streaming platform. You could also create it in Canva. You can present video. You can just present your slides in Canva, so that would work as well. Making it beginner friendly is really important. And if you are creating any kind of written document, you need to include a welcome page. I see people go wrong with this all the time. It's really important that within your digital product, you are building your personal brand, because the idea is that you want this person to stay in your world, to continue to purchase from you. Just having somebody buy something once actually isn't great unless you've got something really expensive, which again is hard to sell, and I don't recommend it. If you're going to go to all that effort of promoting, what we're going to come on to in a bit, marketing, doing your Pinterest pins, doing your YouTube, if you're going to go to that effort of getting a customer, you want that customer to stay with you, to buy future products from you. So it's really important that you include some sort of welcome intro content. For an ebook or for any kind of written content, that's going to be an intro page. But for video content, it's going to be something like include a welcome module with my story. Okay. You really need to tell your story, guys. This is really important for building your credibility. FAQs at the end, also important. And I'm going to make this short because as a course, we don't need to have loads of FAQs. Spelling is very off today. And at least one case study or example tied to my target audience, also very important. Right, so let's have chat create the outline. We answer some questions. Yeah, it is useful most of the time. Right now, after this chat, I'm going to be like, forget everything we said, chat. Because actually, memories, ChatGPT memories are very important. If I just come in here to chat and said, create me product ideas, it probably would have picked really good ones because it knows about my business. And so the more that you use ChatGPT, the better these answers will be. I want to do ebook covers and book covers in general. Okay, if you're doing book covers on their own, I think you would need a bundle. I don't think you could sell, or you could, but it wouldn't, whether it be worth your time. Individual book covers, I think it's very easy for people to create these in themselves in Canva now. So you'd have to really demonstrate value. I think it would be in volume, okay, giving people lots of choice that they can pretty much pick something that's going to align to their style. So that would be my advice on that. I actually have a story sale framework. Okay, so if you have something that you use, you're literally going to take that and make and just basically generic, make it more generic so that it can apply to people no matter what their niche and what their story. So you're probably already 50% through the process. How do we promote more than one ebook on social media? E.g., I help people get into product management and freelancing. Have ideas for many ebooks, but how do I promote them one by one or bundles? I would love to know how many ebooks you've got and whether they're for the same target audience. Inside DMM, my community, I teach a lot about really um, doubling down on one product first, because what we do as creators, as entrepreneurs, because we're super ambitious, we'll create something, we'll try and sell it, and then if it doesn't sell straight away, we'll just be like, oh, I'm going to create something else. And then we just get into this habit of, or it's a cycle really, of just creating, nothing selling. We're wasting loads of time because we're not really learning the sales strategy, the marketing strategy. That's the most important bit. If you can't get someone to buy your product, there really is no point creating loads more. Okay. So if you've already got a lot of products, I would focus on one, ideally one ebook, and really funnel your marketing and energy into this. Yeah. You can create those covers using AI. And you also have to ask yourself, what's stopping your audience from creating those products using AI? Is it because they don't know how to use AI? In that sense, then maybe do you want to add more to your product, more to your offer? I think the offer could be stronger. Um, yeah, the offer could definitely be stronger. Might warrant a school group and a classroom. I'm all for the school groups. Anyone catch Hormozzi's live last weekend? School is where it's at. Come back to that. Um, yeah, I will. I'll share the link. Um, it's in the description actually for this video. It's in this first link or second link in there. Okay, so here's the outline. And ChatGPT does a good job of creating outlines, right? So it's going to tell you exactly how to structure your ebook, how to structure your mini course, whatever it may be. So it's got the welcome, it's telling you exactly what you should include. It's even giving you like what they'll get, so like a benefit driven angle, which is great. And then it's telling you exactly what you need in each of the modules, which is great. Like from here, you could pretty much generate a script. You create your slides and you record it, right? And that's literally your digital product. And ChatGPT has kept this quite lean, right? This is only 5 modules. That could be 5 videos. How long would it take you to record that? Not very long in the grand scheme of things. So we've got a really good outline here. I'm happy with this. Obviously, if it's your niche, you know exactly what things should be included and what things shouldn't be included. So you need to do it back and forth. People don't do this enough. They take the first version of what ChatGPT gives them and they just run with it. They don't make it their own. They don't add in their own stories. They don't add in their own case studies. So you'd really want to go through this and add in as many examples as possible. And if you watch great presenters, I'm going to call out Alex Hormozi again, like I know him, I don't. But if you watch great presenters, you'll see that all they really do is give you an example after story, after metaphor, because that's what brings it to life. Just telling you the theory, You could read that on Perplexity probably. You could go and find that in AI. But what AI can't give you is real life examples, real life metaphors, real life things that actually make it make sense and bring it to life. Okay, so that is what you would add in. And it even says long form story, like those need to be your own stories. And so you would go through and personalize this as much as possible. Um, okay. Let me just grab this question. Can you have more than one planners? You can, Janet. You can have more than one planners, but again, I would recommend selling them together as a bundle. If you can make it so that they all solve different parts of your overarching problem for your audience, then that is going to make a big difference rather than selling individual planners. Like there is an element of digital products that have like had their time like standalone planners, standalone journals, the stuff that is getting sold for 99p on Etsy, like that's had its time. There isn't any profit in that. And so what I want you to do is think about how you can take one single planner and turn it into an actual system. Like what else could you add? How could you beef up is the best way I'm thinking of it, that product, so it's more than just a planner. Can you add a video lesson? Can you add some prompts? Can you add some templates? Can you add some workbooks? That's the way that I want you to be thinking. Planners alone, especially if you're starting from scratch right now, it's just not enough. Like I wouldn't waste your time on it. Okay, so once you've got your outline and you've personalized it with your own stories and your own examples, let's go back to see what our next thing is, right? So actually creating the product for you, there is limits to what ChatGPT can do. It can create your designs. When I say ChatGPT, I mean any AI. It can create your designs. It can obviously it's given you an outline. It can help you with your images. It can help you with your script. If you're creating ebooks, it can write the ebook for you, although I really recommend against it. No one wants to read, no matter how great AI gets, no one wants to read a robot written ebook. So if you're doing it with an ebook, I would tell like with the dictation, this button, I would dictate in what I want for every single part of the ebook. And then I would just ask ChatGPT to clean it up. Let me know if there's anything I can add. Give me feedback on where I can add more stories and examples. That's how I would create it. So in terms of the actual content, that still needs to come from you, although it can be heavily supported by AI. And so here's how I like to do it. And this is how I do it for my product still now. I will ask it something like this. Give me a 3-day step-by-step plan to build this product. Could be 1 day, could be 5 days. Think about how long it actually is going to take you, but start with 3. Focus on clear, helpful content before design. If you take away anything from this live, is that I want you to have an outline and literally page of document 2, 3, whatever, of actual content. Don't worry about the design yet. Just focus on the content first. Um, I've also said, can you give me 5 questions or objections my audience might have about the specific problem that I'm trying to solve? Okay, so this is also really important because you want your product to actually help people. And if there's questions that they have or there's objections or why it might not work, that's the type of content you need to include in the product. Really, really crucial. And so I can create content that directly addresses it. So the problem probably is my audience don't know how to sell. I'm just guessing this is the main problem, but you will know because this is your niche. You would have done your research without being salesy. Okay, so that just pick the most urgent problem for your audience. So for mine, selling digital products, one of the biggest ones is they don't want to show their face, or they don't realize that they can do this without an audience, or they feel like they need to be really techie, or they feel like they haven't got enough time. Like those are some of the things, those are some of the objections that I get, right? And there are workarounds, there are solutions for every single one. So of course I would put that in my product so I can help them get the results. And so ChatGPT is going to give us a plan. While that's going, let me get a question. Can I bundle products on Standstore? Yeah, wherever you sell. I don't like Standstore, but wherever you sell, you can bundle your products. It's not on the actual platform, it's the actual product itself. So let me give you an example so this comes to life. Pin Perfection, one of my best-selling digital products outside of my membership. This is a bundle. When I first created this, or when I first had the idea for it, it was just going to be a custom AI chatbot assistant. That's all that I wanted it to be, because I was so sick of the crap I was getting in ChatGPT, and I was like, no, I can train this to be better, and then I'm going to sell the trained version. That was my first idea. But then I was like, actually, people need more than just an AI assistant. So then I added viral Tim. Then I added viral pin templates, the actual 15 that consistently sell my digital products. I had already the custom GPT. Then I added my like big keyword bank. This is how I organize all of my content. Then I added the checklist on how you get started on Pinterest. Then I added the masterclass. This is a recorded masterclass. You can see the different formats that I've included here. And then I added the blogging prompts, because Pinterest works best when you pair it with blogs. And then I put it all together in this one product called Pin Perfection. And so when you buy it and you get access to the portal, you get all of these different things. So it's not about the platform, it's about you putting. I hope that helps. I hope that answers the question. Or do I have to use Etsy? No, you don't. Please don't use Etsy. This is coming from someone that has made over 20K on Etsy. Stay away from it now. It's just not worth it. I saw your video on the various platforms and their algorithms versus email. Yeah, awesome video. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so ChatGPT has given us, where are we? Here we are. ChatGPT has given us a 3-day plan. And like, think about this, right? You could start this on a Friday afternoon and it could be done by the Monday. Like, all you need to do is really just carve out some time. And I know that sounds difficult when we've all got so much going on, but I started digital products when I was planning a wedding. My 9 to 5 at the time was corporate ads director, running teams, running millions of dollars of ad budgets. It was crazy. I was moving and I was doing loads of other stuff. So I was like the chief of I don't have time, but you find time. You wake up a bit earlier. You take your lunch breaks from work and actually work on your business. Like, you find the time, but the most important thing is that you protect that time. You tell your wife, you tell your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever, I need to be left alone this weekend. I need some time so I can really focus on building my product. Okay. And when you get into your flow state, if you can literally give yourself a whole day, you'll find that you'll move even quicker. So I just want to address that real quick. So literally ChatGPT has given us a process. It's saying in 90 minutes, it's saying you set the promise, then you outline all of your modules, write up your scripts. And then it's basically telling you exactly what to do, like put your exercises in, create your worksheet. Like, it's telling you exactly what to do. And as you go through each of them, you can literally be saying to ChatGPT, I'm now creating my worksheet. Please help me. Please help me decide what I should put in it. Here's my first draft. Please help me improve it. And so obviously I can't include all these because these prompts are specific to the type of product that you're creating. But follow the plan. And as you're going through, use AI as literally your creation partner. I've done this. How can I make it better? Give me some ideas for this. I'm stuck here. It still becomes your product that you're creating, but you're using AI to support you to move faster. I like ChatGPT 5 now. I think the first week that it launched, it was a bit funky, and everyone had a lot to say about it, but I really prefer ChatGPT 5. And the reason is because it's smart enough to think to switch between the models. So sometimes you'll see it saying, I'm thinking about this. That's because it's using the higher reasoning model. I have got the pro though. But like sometimes, so it's on auto, it's deciding how to think. Sometimes it's thinking quickly, you're getting quicker responses, and sometimes it's thinking for longer and giving you better answers. So I really love ChatGPT 5. I used to be a 4.0 girl, um, but yeah, I'm there with ChatGPT 5. Okay, yeah, we're gonna come on to marketing now. So you've got your plan, right? I'm not gonna go through that anymore. I think that's really straightforward. And so the next bit is where to sell. I'm going to put this prompt in so you can see what ChatGPT comes back with. I think of all of the areas, this is where AI is not as not as smart with, right? So let's see where it says interactive templates. Oh girl, that's going to be in the community. You know this stuff is going to be in the community. As soon as I can, I'll drop it in. Um Okay, so once you've got your product, you've built it out, you've spent your 3 to 5 days building it, right? The next part is where do you sell it? Now, like I say, ChatGPT hasn't got the most up to date search data, so maybe this is a better question for Perplexity. But I always see it come back with these three, and these are not right. And I could have just skipped these because the responses are great, but I want to let you know, okay? Pensite, I used this a while ago. It's not bad. Beacons is so much better. They're the same thing, but Beacons has a lot more features. You've also got Standtore here, which is essentially the same thing as Pensite and Beacons. My issue with Standtore is that it's very expensive for what you get. It's a very basic platform, as are Pensite and Beacons, but for what you get, it's very expensive. Okay, so that's an immediate no. Ooh. And I think it might be saying this because I have used it in the past, but I don't recommend it anymore. If you're going to go for a basic platform that is social first, acts a bit like the link in bio, especially if you want to. It works really for wherever you're doing your marketing. Our next one is marketing, and we're going to close out on that. But I don't recommend Pensite. I don't recommend Standstore. Beacons is the best one out of the bunch. Okay. So the next one it's saying is Etsy. Now, you guys let me know in the chat if you want me to expand on Etsy. When I was selling on Etsy, I used to get quite frustrated with people saying, don't sell on Etsy, because I was seeing success at that time. The reason why I stopped seeing success is because niches become very cluttered on Etsy very quickly. And this is not about saturation, because saturation isn't actually a bad thing. But with Etsy, it's about the cost. Okay. The cost of your products are driven down dramatically. It's not just about saturation. It's because it's a marketplace. It's literally a bidding war. So as soon as someone reduces their costs, everybody reduces their costs. And then the next person reduces their costs. And before you know it, you're selling your product at 99p. And you know, by the time it takes the ad fees and the listing fees out of it, you're left with nothing. So I could spend a whole live talking about where to sell, but if you trust my experience and you trust my perspective, I don't recommend Etsy. Now, the last one is Gumroad that is recommending here. It's very similar to Gumroad, very similar to Etsy. It is also a marketplace. If you must sell on a marketplace, you can do it on Gumroad. There is less price sensitivity on Gumroad, which I like, and it is really simple to set up. I don't know what their costs are now. It used to just be like £10 a month off one-off fee. I don't think it's that anymore, but it is very simple. But even chat says here, like, it's got very high transaction fees. They're going to take a good chunk of your profit. Okay. But it does say at the end, creating your own site is the stronger long-term solution. And that I do agree with. Beacons is a great place to start, and I recommend it hands down. If you just want to dabble, if you just want to see if this is going to work for you before you invest in things like creating a site, just do it with Beacons. Get your first 2-3K in profit and then create your own site. You can do it with whatever platform you like. I don't care. This site is Shopify. If I was starting again, I probably wouldn't do Shopify. It's more e-commerce based, but I still like it. I really recommend Hostinger though. You can create a site with AI and it doesn't take very long at all. I think I've done 2 videos already on this. Like, you can go into Hostinger, create your site with AI. It will do the images for you. It will do the copy, although you do need to tweak it. You can buy your domain through there. And so you do have you do have way more control over your brand and higher profit margins. I mean, chat gets all of this part right. I just don't know why it doesn't suggest it as the first thing. Okay. So that is my recommendation on where to sell. Are we all comfortable on that before we move on to the last part, which is marketing? I put a t-shirt on Etsy, only had about 5 sale, at least 4 of them was driving traffic there anyway. Yeah. I mean, I try to be balanced. I try to stay really balanced when it comes to Etsy because I have seen success in the past. It's just not it's not optimized for success now. And the only way it is if you're selling something that is very unique, it's very difficult for other people to copy because people will copy you on Etsy. And that was the first reason I created my own site because someone had legit bought my product and copied me. And although you can report them to Etsy and all of that, it's just a lot of stress. So just be careful with marketplaces. Yes, I will mention that the positive is they do bring you traffic, but with how many people on the Etsy site now, unless you are a big shop, and you already really understand Etsy SEO, you're still going to get lost. You're still going to get lost. Okay. All right. So let me move on to the last bit so we can wrap up. The next part is where you market your product. Now, I probably should have left 7 minutes for this part because it's so important. And I actually have a Q&A, session tomorrow. I'm live again, 4 p.m. tomorrow, and it's literally just going to be Q&A. And I'm taking all of your questions, all of the questions that I've missed in the comments from my little break from YouTube. I'm going to be answering. And so we can focus a lot on marketing then. But really, we can use this prompt, right? And there's a couple of things I want to tell you about this prompt as I put it in. The first one is that I've set a beginner friendly marketing plan, right? So funnels, upsells, downsells, cross sells, all of that. If you know what I'm talking about, then you're more advanced. We don't need to worry about that yet. We need to just keep it simple. We want to make our first 10 to 20 sales. That's it. That's what we need to get to. We need a proof of concept. We need a proof that this is actually got legs and this is going to work for us. I've said without TikTok or Instagram. Don't know about you guys, having tried them, I don't think they're the most effective for marketing over the long term. And I've told it to focus on Pinterest and YouTube and email because I already know from my experience, they are the most effective platforms. Now, if you are like, you know what, I'm really good at creating reels, you adjust the prompt. You say you want to do it on Instagram. Cool, that's fine. But in my experience, Pinterest and YouTube is a way more sustainable way. There is no other platform that I could have taken. My last video was, I think, 2 weeks ago, but I haven't recorded content for YouTube in about 6 weeks. There's no other platform that I could not record content for that long and still have daily sales, because not only does the content live a lot longer, but actually people are way more engaged with your longer form content, especially on YouTube, and Pinterest will just keep bringing you traffic. I've got pins from 2 years ago that are still bringing me traffic. Okay, so they're just way more sustainable platforms. Okay, so last bit is to make the plan realistic. We want to build trust. This is really important. When you first launch, and I think a lot of people have, they don't have the right expectations. They think they're going to make 10K in their first month. Not going to happen. Telling you now, not going to happen. You need to build trust with your audience first. People don't buy from people they don't trust, and people don't necessarily usually trust people straight off the bat. Okay. We're not expecting instant sales. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a build a sustainable business. So it's really important. Okay, let's just get the plan so you guys can see. Yeah, exactly. YouTube is evergreen. There's still people watching my videos every single day from 6 weeks ago. Find me an Instagram reel like that. Do you know what I mean? They die after 24 hours. And so we don't have time to waste on things that are not going to serve us and bring us traffic over the long term. Okay. All right. So we've got the beginner friendly marketing plan. And so I'm going to critique step by step. So when you're doing this, either right now or whenever you're watching this live, you know exactly what to look out for, right? So the first step is to create your freebie, correct? That is the first step. Even before you created your product, sometimes, if people are really limited on time and they're like, I can't do both, which one should I focus on? I say, create your product outline so you know exactly what you want to sell, and then focus on creating your freebie. Your freebie needs to connect. Like, it needs to be like this. People need to have downloaded your freebie, and you know, based on them downloading your freebie, that they're the right people for your product. They need to be so closely connected. But the reason why I say go for your freebie first is that you can build your email list and you'll convert a lot of your sales in your emails. Okay. So that's right. Step 2, Pinterest, your traffic engine. Yes, so you would create pins that link to your freebie. And then once you're more established, you can start adding stuff like blog posts, which also convert really, really well. And it even gives you a split, 60% freebie, 30% product, 10% blog. I'd probably actually reverse these. Only 10% need to go through to your product because people are more likely to convert from your freebie or your blog post. Then it's saying add YouTube as your trust builder, which I do agree. 2 per month. I would probably say try and start with 1 a week, and always start with outlier videos. But what I mean by that is go and find other people in your niche. Go and see what videos they have that have performed really well. Hear me when I say this, create your own version of those videos. Don't copy the videos. No one likes that. But create your own version. You might do your own perspective on a topic. You might do a similar topic, but at least you know that the actual topic and the actual the topic of the video is popular because it went viral for someone else. It can go viral for you too. So that is your approach for YouTube. Do that for your first 30 videos. Then you look at what works and you make more of what works. Okay, step 4, email conversions. It's even telling you like what to do on every single email. I have my own structure, which is better than this, but this is a good place to start. And then it's saying nurture once a week after that. I think that's the absolute minimum. If you're on my email list, you'll see that I'm emailing you every day at this point. You might be sick of me, that's fine, but my sales go up. The more emails I send, the more sales I make, guys. Listen to this. The more emails I send, the more sales I make. So I'm not saying you have to email every day, but the more you email, the more profit you'll make, especially if you know how to do emails properly. And then step 5 is realistic expectations. Okay. This is really important. And chat's actually got a lot better. I think the last time I did this exercise, it wasn't giving me realistic expectations. And so it's saying, look, month 1 to 2, focus on posting your first pieces of content. Month 3 is when your first sales will likely come in. It depends. It obviously depends on the type of content you're creating. But again, you need to be really aware, like that is the realistic timeline. It's even still quite fast. I didn't get my first sales till I was in about month 6. No, it was before that. This is probably about month 4. But I was getting consistent sales around month 6. And so, yeah, here it gives you your flow. So you're going your Pinterest to your freebie to your email list, then to your nurture emails, and then to your paid offers. It might seem like a lot of steps, but it works. It builds trust. Then people can either come through your YouTube to your freebie. They might go direct to your product. I get quite a lot of people buying direct from my YouTube, but sometimes they're going to my email list. And then your email will always result in conversions. If you are consistent, I know everyone hates that word, but it is true. If you are consistent with your emails and you follow an approach where you're sharing value, you're being vulnerable, you're sharing stories, and you're building trust, emails will always convert. It's just a case of when. They're not instant. And as much as I don't like TikTok and Instagram, you could have a reel that goes viral and gets you loads of sales. It's not like that on email. It's slow and steady, but it's also sustainable, and you're also going to make a lot more profit over the long term. Okay. And so that is brings me to the end. Those are my 5 prompts. They're inside my community. My community link is in my description box. If you want to join us, it's $37 a month. You can cancel anytime, and I would love to see you in there. And I've just got a few minutes for questions because I can't lie. My husband's going to be home soon, and he's I think he's gone to the gym, so I need to start dinner. But I have a Q&A tomorrow at 4 p.m. He just messaged me literally now. Oh, he's gone to the gym. We got some time. I have a Q&A at 4 p.m. tomorrow, and I'm answering all the questions. Okay, so do come along to that if there's anything that I don't cover. Thank you, Patricia. I'm going in on the emails at the moment. Right now, I'm probably spending about 2 hours creating all of my emails for the week, and then I'm scheduling them all out. It's the only way that I find that I can stay consistent with emails, if I can just write them all at once. And really, my strategy is just to like tell stuff that's going on in my business right now. Like, if you're on my email list, you'll see like sometimes they're like really value driven, sometimes they're more personal, sometimes it's just what I fancy saying on that day. There's not a ton of strategy. My whole approach on well, there is a ton of strategy. There's not a ton of selling. There is I keep there's not a ton of strategy, there is. There's not a ton of selling, there is. There is, but it's very soft. Okay. It's very soft. It's like story first, trust first, then it is sales. That's how I approach my emails. YouTube, yeah. Wow, well done. Well done. You can just download any of my freebies. I think I have a link to my $1 million AI prompts. All of the prompts actually that I use today are in that freebie. So that's how you can get the prompts that I use today. They're in that freebie. It's in the description of this video. So if you're not ready to join the community, all good. Grab the freebie, go read my emails, and tell me what you think. In a funnel, so in the funnel that takes people from your freebie to your main product, the initial sequence, I do 6 emails. It's 5 or 6. I'm pretty sure it's 6 emails. I give you all the templates in my community. I do 6 emails. Then after that, I'm asking for a sale. So it's 6 emails of building trust, telling people why you created the offer, who you are, and then I'm saying, this is my product. Do you want to buy it? Basically, if they don't, and you need to offer them urgency, there's a certain way of doing it. But if they don't then buy, they just go into my main email list. And then I'm just emailing minimum 3 times a week right now, every day. I'm just emailing, building trust, and putting a link to my product at the end. And that is how I'm selling. Do you think book recipes are ebook recipes? Yeah, recipes are okay. That's actually interesting because I just recorded a video on this, and one of my students did a healthy eating recipe ebook. It wasn't selling, and we had to turn it into a system. We had to add mindset prompts, we had to add a calorie counter tracker, had to add quite a few things to make it more of a system, and that is when it really started to take off. So what you've got, the thing about ebook recipes, some people will buy an ebook and some people just go on TikTok and look at healthy recipes. And so I think you need to look at what your overall audience problem is and see if how you can develop your product into a bundle that can actually give them way more value than just an ebook recipe book. So depends on the type of recipes, but I would say that like where we are now with AI and social media and the amount of content, you probably need to strengthen the value of that offer for it to be something that can sell. And when I say sell, I don't want you guys making $100 or like $500. I want you to making thousands of dollars a month. Okay, so this is the system that I'm giving you. Eventually, not straight away. Thank you. Did you check the Juicy launch planner, my love? There's a session on launch and there's the Juicy launch planner. You should work your way through that. That is going to give you all of the foundations of your launch. And there's more, and you can also watch my launch debrief, which is in the core replay section. And I show you exactly what I did to launch DMM as well. So that will help. Thank you. I've taken a lot of time to level up my emails. That's why I'm sending them every day. And also, guys, the more you do something, the better you get. When I was sending 3 emails a week, they were okay. But when I literally sat myself down and forced myself, I said, "You're gonna write 5 minimum," you will be surprised how much better you get. It's like when you start running. I've just started running again. When you start running and you're only doing it once a week, it takes you so much longer to get your fitness back versus if you're doing it 2, 3 times a week. So it's all about reps. The more you do it, the better you get. You need to do an email course. I have thought about it. I have thought about it. It would be an upsell to DMM though, because there will be a lot of content in that. But yeah, he wants an email course. I might create one. Hi Kitty, it's good to see you. Um, no, that's fine, my love. You take your time. 16K. Wow. Mine's $37 a month. So when you're ready, it's a lot more affordable. It's $37 a month now, by the way, guys. If you're watching this in the future and it's not, it's because more value has gone in and the cost has gone up. I'm using Go High Level for all of my emails right now. But if you're just starting out, I really recommend Omnisend. I've just done a partnership video with them actually. It's coming out soon. But I was so surprised at how good their platform is. And they have a free plan. So you can send up to 500 emails a month for free. Insane. Um, Previous to this, I was only recommending Flowdesk, and I do like Flowdesk still. Very beautiful templates. But Omnisend's got 500 emails for free. So that's where I recommend. Yeah, amazing. So Beacons is more of a basic place to start email marketing. They do have email in there. What I would say though is they don't have enough automations. So I always say like start on Beacons. You can get some emails in there. You can send out like weekly 2, 3 times a week. But then once you're starting to get consistent sales, I would really recommend in investing in either creating your own site and using a separate email provider like Omnisend, or if you're really advanced. And guys, this is why I don't mention the platforms I always use, because I'm advanced and I'm happy to invest the cash in good platforms. But if you're advanced and you want to have the best possible platform, then what I use is FG funnels. It costs about £90, which is probably about 100 and something dollars a month. It's not cheap, but I have everything in there. So it's up to you. I hope that answers the question. There is email features in Beacons, but if you want more automation and you want to do more with your emails, go for your own site and Omnisend. The part in one of your videos, you had them. Thank you. Probably with my sister. Yeah, I do still like Flowdesk. I've got a really soft spot for Flowdesk. It was the first place I started email marketing. I actually logged in there the other week and I saw all of my old templates and I was like, you've come a long way. Whoever's been on my list for a long time, like my emails were not great when I first started. And it's all about practice. And if you've got a mentor that can help you fast track, I didn't have a mentor. There was no one that I really connected with when I started my journey, and everything was really expensive. I'm talking about like $997 courses. It wasn't possible for me to do that. So if I had something like a mentorship where I could jump in a community, get templates and get feedback, I would have moved so much quicker than I actually did. But I got there in the end. Right now, my support looks like my membership, my DMM membership is inside my description. You'll get coaching, you'll get my course, you'll get my monthly challenges. There's a lot of DMM members, I think, on the call that can tell you about their experience inside there. It's $37 a month at the moment. At the moment, it's really key. The cost will go up, but right now it's $37 a month, and you can cancel anytime. Okay. And I think that's it. So really, guys, just to recap, I've showed you all of the prompts that you would use at every major part of going from zero in terms of not having a product idea all the way through to outlining your product, using AI to help you build your product, not necessarily build the whole thing for you. Um, what to think about and where to sell. Don't do it on marketplaces, please. That's my biggest thing. And then how to use Pinterest and YouTube. And this prompt gives you like a bit of a step by step on how to go about it, but how to use both of them as a sustainable sales system. If you want help with any of this stuff, if you want my help, if you want my coaching, if you want my wonderful community support, you can jump into DMM. If not, please just grab my AI prompts. They're completely free below, and it has all of the prompts that I used today. Tomorrow I'm going to do a Q&A. I'll see you here at 4 p.m. UK time. Kayla might need to do the translation on the times because she's got an app. She's got it all on her phone, but it's a bit earlier. I'm doing 4 p.m. Q&A time, not teaching, just answering your questions. If you've got any questions, let me know and I will see you then. Thank you so much. And best of luck with your property business. I have property as well. In London, I have property, and this is a different story for a different life, but I cannot wait to get rid of it because there is so much more profit for me right now in my market, in digital products. So I hope your investment works out brilliant for you. Okay, I think that's it, guys. I will see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. EST, 4 p.m. UK time. And let's catch up. My YouTube videos will be back next week, maybe week after next. But I have a ton planned out for you. So we're going to be very active again. And yeah, thank you for all your support. I will see you later. Bye.